Starting off with this restaurant where the undercover boss was ready to slap a manager.
No, come on. Employees come first. You are disrespectful to the brand.
Curious, right? Let's get into it. The CEO, Rick Nicholas, goes undercover in the Wild Wing to figure out why sales are decreasing. He uncovered a few messed up stuff, but wait till you hear the most disturbing part. The employee Sabrina is getting straight up abused by the owner.
You think I come here happy all the time?
That's my fault. I give you the 5 days, 6 days work. What?
Dave, not my hours.
When Rick asked her why she puts up with it instead of quitting, this is how she responded.
If you're gonna get abused like this,
There's no other job out there that gives me the hours I have to be with my children. That's why I stick with it and take it.
The conversation between them gets more emotional, and watch as Rick pours his heart out, trying to convince her to stop enduring all that abuse. But finally, the undercover boss steps up and confronts the manager for his abuse.
do you know me?
Yes, Mr. Rick.
You're gonna apologize to her, okay?
I just stopped.
You know what? I don't need to hear it.
Sorry, Sabrina.
The more and more I think about it, the more and more mad I get.
He totally loses it and fires his sorry ass right then and there for messing with his employees. But the next employee did not give a damn about morals.
Tie my shoe. Please, I have chocolate on my hand. Oh my God.
Amit Y. Kleinberger, the CEO and co-owner of Menchie's Frozen Yogurt, is on a mission to connect with the employees. He came to Bonnie Lake, Washington, where he shadowed a shift leader named Jew. And guess what? Compared to other shift leaders, this one right here is the definition of arrogance. Instead of guiding him correctly, look how she handled it.
She's more expecting me to pick up clues and hints of what she's trying to communicate.
Throw that stuff in that.
Cardboard?
Duh.
Now, instead of helping him patiently, she starts clowning on him. She straight up bullies him, making him do all the work while she just stands there, acting like she's some kind of queen.
So, take this,
Uh-huh.
cut off each end,
Okay.
and peel away.
Bragging about how beautiful she is. Can you believe that? That kind of toxic environment messes with your head, bro. And on top of it, she wants employees to do everything she says. No, wait. Actually, she doesn't do straightforward talks, but expects everyone to read her mind or something.
So is there any particular way to do it?
Peel as quick as you can,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah.
It's just messed up, man. But in this next restaurant, the undercover boss ends up seeing something horrible he could never imagine of.
Yeah!
Let's dive in and uncover the truth, all right? The one you just saw crying is Kobe Brooks, the former CEO of Hooters, going undercover. Things were going pretty well overall, until he encountered the general manager of their South Arlington, Texas spot, Jimbo. This guy was just like a normal manager who's good at his work. But let me tell you, he flipped the whole script, man. Usually, when things are slow, managers give their crew early cuts to save some cash. But Jimbo dared to handle it in the most degrading way. No joke. Kobe had to witness Jimbo's messed up process for giving pay cuts.
Hey, so maybe we'll do a bean eating contest, right? Sucker down, good time.
The girls were clearly feeling hella uncomfortable. But you know what? Jimbo didn't care one bit. He just went ahead and started the game.
Come on, girl, who wants to go home? Oh, look, ooh, doggy.
Guys, let me tell you this. It was a total nightmare for everyone there. It was straight up downright disturbing, and no employee should ever go through this. We came across all types of male employees, but little did this next undercover boss know he was gonna meet a pervert in his store. John is the CEO at True Value, which has been around for almost a century. Now, he met one of his employees, Brad, in Boston, Massachusetts, who's acting all out of whack. And with just one chit-chat, check out how he breaks down the job.
We're gonna smoke some cigarettes, we're gonna flirt with some women, we're gonna sell some...
I'm sorry, we're gonna do what?
Man, John was straight up shook after hearing that. Now when he was working, this dude refused to lend a hand and just started barking orders. But if it's a lady in need, suddenly he's all about helping them. But we all know he's just trying to score their digits. And to top it off, the dude's a pro at making the female customers feel awkward as hell.
Well, good luck with that. Any other questions?
That's it.
All right.
Thanks.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Brad's remarks about them are straight up nasty. It's just like over here.
My goodness, scrumptious.
What is he saying? What is he thinking?
Those lustful eyes and nasty comments are so disturbing. Well, providing good customer service is absolutely essential and should never be compromised. But this next employee was so disrespectful that things took a shocking turn in the end.
Elizabeth, you're not letting me talk. You're not letting me talk, so I can't help you, Elizabeth.
Do you think the CEO would tolerate such behavior towards customers? Danielle is a member of the operations team at GSI, and the first thing she told him was that he sounded insecure and should just fake confidence like he had been working there for 10 years.
You're new, so you have to sound confident at this point and put her in her place.
Wow, what kind of advice is that? During a call, a customer had an issue, and while the undercover CEO was speaking to her politely and trying to understand her point of view, Danielle told him he was messing up and took over the call herself.
I asked to put her on hold.
I absolutely see the email. Can you hold on 1 second, please?
And what she did was absolutely unacceptable. She was incredibly rude to the customer and only wanted to prove her own point without listening to the customer at all.
I think you really do understand.
I definitely do, actually. May I speak now?
The whole point is, where is
Elizabeth, not.
What kind of service is that? The CEO was so annoyed by this and was trying his best to control his anger.
It took every bit of constraint I had to let that call even go on.
It's no wonder the CEO went from feeling heartbroken to straight up frustrated after that incident. But in this next restaurant, the undercover boss couldn't keep his identity hidden any longer due to an employee's disrespectful attitude.
I'm not Mike Davis. My name's Anthony Guido. I'm the president and CEO of Buffets, Inc.
Anthony Guido, the big boss, holds the titles of president and CEO at Buffets, Inc. Now, he decides to go undercover and came across this employee who's got the nastiest attitude problem you've ever seen.
You're gonna do that, and I'm gonna do this in the front?
You're gonna run both positions.
Not every employee is a jerk, you might say. But trust me, when you witness this guy hurling dishes around and leaving a newbie to fend for himself with zero help, you'll understand.
Oh well, what you waiting for?
To make these matters worse, this dude's got a real weird vibe that makes you want to smack some sense into him.
What's up, Ernest? How you doing, man?
Just come up and do the damn dishes.
But the CEO ain't your typical boss. He's a different breed. He knows how to rattle people's cages without screaming at them. The employee ain't training him properly and expects him to handle everything without any assistance. But eventually, the CEO blew his cover and asked the manager to fire him.
My dish room after all. Smoke break.
But up next, we'll explore the reality of working under big companies like...
Not the way it works, it's the way it should work. The company doesn't really think about us sometimes, doesn't think about us little people in the store.
Mike Bloom, the president and COO of Family Dollar Stores, decided to get down by working in one of his own rural stores in Stevenson, Michigan. And he met Lacey, the assistant manager who's supposed to show him the ropes. So Lacey takes him to the back room, where all the frickin' boxes are stacked up. Then she starts demonstrating how they put the stock away. But wait, it gets worse. Well, turns out the whole damn company system is a mess. As you can see, they shove half the damn inventory that doesn't fit on the shelves into the back rooms, making it one big overstocked mess. And if that wasn't bad enough, she spills the dirty little secret about the total mismanagement.
Everything is all mixed up on the truck. Like all the lotions.
So that doesn't come off altogether?
No.
And if you thought that was the end of it, hell no. They're so understaffed that they gotta work crazy long shifts, like 13 to 14 hours a day. Can you believe that?
I seriously spend more time here than I do with my husband, so...
Really?
Yeah.
It's clear she's busting her ass working hard, but nobody gives a damn or recognizes her effort. It's no wonder she's starting to hate her job. Compensation matters, man. It can make or break an employee's spirit, but these idiots don't seem to understand that. But when the same COO goes to another joint, he gets to know another employee who isn't completely satisfied with his work. So Mike Bloom goes undercover to work with Rosali to see how well things are moving from point A to point B in the distribution center. If the distribution center isn't running smoothly, it messes up all the stores and the whole organization. Then Mike gets a chance to have a deep talk with Rosali, where he spilled what really bothered him. At first, he told him how much he loves his job for the past 10 years. But there's one thing he can't stand about it, and that is...
What don't you like about your job?
Wintertime.
Wintertime.
Too long hours. Not that many hours.
Okay.
Get slow.
Oh, and by the way, there's more to why he hates the wintertime.
I got a credit card debt, almost $18,000.
$18,000?
Yes.
Now, for some people, this might not seem like a big deal, but the fact that he told a new employee on his very first day shows how much it disturbed him. He further mentioned he was ready to take up the post of the area manager, Who gets the highest pay? It's all about confidence. But up next, the undercover boss finds a bitter truth about his own bar. So Randy Dewitt, the big boss and co-founder of Twin Peaks, decided to go undercover and meet his employees who keep the place on top. But what he discovered in one of the Webster, Texas joints blew his mind. He ran into this server named Marissa, and she spilled all the beans to him. She showed him the ropes, sure, but she also let him in on some shady secrets.
We have 15 girls on the floor today, and we will go by the ranking today.
What is that?
They go by ranking. You have to look good, you have to be in shape.
After Desiree is Ashley.
The rankings they give out are based on beauty standards. Can you believe that? It's not about how well these girls work their asses off. It's all about their looks and bodies. And some of these girls get higher rankings just because they flirt with the managers. You know what I mean? Watch what the CEO has to say about it. It's seriously disturbing, dude. This kind of crap is going to create some toxic competition among the girls, and most of them are going to feel insecure as hell. Similarly, this next employee who's a security guard does all kinds of work, but isn't acknowledged by anyone.
Spencer is not only security, he's busting tables, he's a dishwasher, he's running ice, he's rolling silverware.
This Tilted Kilt is blowing up as one of the hottest sports pubs in the U.S. Now, the president, Ron Lynch, goes undercover in Alpharetta, and he uncovers some messed up stuff from one of his employees, Spencer, who's a bouncer. Spencer cleaned everything there. I gotta wonder if he's getting paid for all that extra work, man. But here's where it gets wild.
They started asking me for my number and all that. The guy said, like, I'm horny.
Spencer spills the beans and tells Ron that there ain't no real solution to the messed up stuff that goes on here. Even when customers are acting all disgusting towards the girls, they're trained not to throw the first punch. The management drew some lines they gotta follow, even if it means the girls have to go through all that.
It's still a restaurant. Everybody's got clothes on. But these people sometimes like to think it's a strip club.
And don't even get me started on the managers, bro. They're all useless. The girls feel like they have no one to back them up or stand up for them when they're getting harassed, so they're always feeling uncomfortable, sadly.
Cover the girls from getting sexually harassed at a strip club better than they do here.
So we witness the customers pushing the boundaries and making the girls feel uneasy. But in this next restaurant, the whole situation flips around.
There's a line that we do not cross. That's a problem.
Well, in the same episode, President Ron Lynch goes undercover as a server in San Diego, California. There, he met a super talented, bright, enthusiastic server named Callie Ann. At first, Ron was impressed how she mingled with her customers energetically, but little did he know what she was going to do next.
What's the difference between jelly and jam?
You can't jelly someone else's.
What does a priest and acne have in common?
It's tilted kilt. It's a little bit tilted.
That must be straight up uncomfortable for the customer. So what does Ron have to say about it? But what happens next is straight up harassment. Well, if you ask why, so you'll understand if you switch the roles in here.
He's gonna pour it in your mouth, I'm gonna pour it in his mouth. Do it!
Ron was literally shocked and embarrassed and was disturbed to know that the standards he kept were not being upheld.
No mature person should do that. She needs some help.
But in the next episode, things took a crazy turn, which led to the employee being brutally fired.
Pete is a little bitch. He's definitely made of vagina.
I've heard terms today that I've never heard before.
No, you just blew my mind with your last comment.
This employee right here couldn't keep his disrespect in check. He completely ignored boundaries and acted like he was untouchable. The CEO had finally had enough of him and secretly thought he was faking it. And guess what? It wasn't because of the camera. He called the general service manager to have a quick chat about it.
He has no respect for anybody in that restaurant. He does treat his kitchen staff low, but there's no telling Wes.
The manager even said the kitchen is the worst, and then the bully unleashed a string of abusive words. The CEO actually felt nostalgic as he remembered being a dishwasher and being bullied himself. He made it clear that he wouldn't tolerate that kind of stuff in his own restaurants. He even said he would tear up the franchise agreement if he had to, but he would put an end to this.
I'm taking the franchise agreement, I'm gonna rip it apart if Sean is refusing to do the right thing for his staff.
He'll do the right thing.
He was indeed one of a kind, ready to stop the past from happening again. No one should be allowed to treat employees like that, so they had to kick his sorry ass out. But this next employee, who was absolutely useless, decided to give the boss a hard time. Will the boss let it slide or take action against her? This was one wild roller coaster ride.
God, it was Jacqueline Bar.
Excuse me? Know what I'm doing. I know I've been here for 2 years.
For the uninitiated, Retro Fitness is a booming business in the fitness industry with over 300,000 members. We know that lazy employees can be a root cause for a company's destruction. Just like this girl here, the front desk manager Jacqueline confessed that all she did during her work hours was a waste of time.
Hey, how you doing?
You use that while you work?
Yep.
She absolutely despises the tasks her job requires her to do.
They don't know how to use the machine, so they're over here looking like doing the machine.
And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, she actually prepares shakes according to her own preferences instead of following the menu. What's hilarious is the CEO's reaction to it.
At some point, I realized that maybe we should have renamed it Jacqueline's Juice Bar because it seems like she's got her own way of doing everything.
She even took the leftover smoothie in the blender and poured it down the drain. I could see the CEO crying as his money literally went down the drain. And that's not all. She badmouthed him right in front of the customers.
You don't have to go by the book with every situation in your life.
The menu says medium, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I'm telling you this way. This is how I'm telling you.
Then.
But wait until you see how she treated the customers.
Don't with me, dude.
And you know what? She didn't stop there. She kept on screaming at the member, and honestly, I'm cringing just watching it.
For the sake of the job, I don't want to blow my cover.
What do you think the CEO should do? He had reached his limit with her attitude, and we all know what comes next. In this next episode, Toby Boss, the CEO of O'Neill's Clothing, had quite the surprise when he encountered an employee named Jesus during his undercover mission at one of the company's stores. Unfortunately, Jesus left Toby shocked and concerned. It started with Jesus making derogatory comments about the clothing line, setting a negative tone.
You know, you're gonna pick up a girl on your first date, you wanna look like a man, you don't wanna look like a 5-year-old like your mom picked us out. That's like a 5th grader would wear instead of a grown-ass man.
But it didn't stop there. He went even further by openly discussing drug-related topics with Toby.
I'm just straight up lazy, man. Like, smoke weed, I'll drink. He
was concerned that Jesus' actions could extend beyond personal drug use and potentially involve offering drugs to other employees or even customers, which would greatly jeopardize the company's reputation and safety. It was a really disturbing episode, but this next contestant left the undercover boss speechless.
I mean, after a 16-hour day and they tell you this or that or try to give you attitude, I mean, the first thing that comes to your mind is you.
This clueless employee goes on a total rampage, trashing his coworkers like there's no tomorrow. Little does he know, the person he's spilling all the tea to is the president of Kendall Jackson Winery on the show Undercover Boss. Check out how he screws up the first combo with Jack right here. But wait, it gets worse. This clueless employee keeps going on his rant like there's no filter, pushing the limits of audacity and keeping everyone on the edge of their seats. Every word becomes a ticking time bomb, ready to explode and blow up the thin veil of professionalism. The tension keeps building up, leaving the president and the whole production crew wondering just how far this clueless employee will go. You won't believe what happens next here.
Managers would be, like, you know, I've been told, like, what the are you doing here right now? Like, what do you want me to do?
Talking smack about your manager? Seriously? Dude, you must be seriously frustrated to throw shade like that. Kendall is left in utter shock at the language and Renee's crappy attitude towards customers. He straight up calls it totally unacceptable. Work isn't just about showing up, being rude, doing your job, and clocking out. There has to be some love, understanding, and teamwork in the mix, or else it's just a living hell for you and your coworkers. Well, be careful and think twice before running your mouth without knowing who's listening. Don't you think it's crucial to take significant measures to address these disturbing attitudes and incidents? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you like our video, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, guys.